Today we're going to look at add by making 10. But what does making 10 mean? Do you know your number bonds to 10? Well, I hope so, and we're going to review them. Because in order to add by making 10, you need to use your number bonds to 10. So let's review. Here we have some number shapes. This has a value of 10. We don't have to add anything to it because it's already 10. So we can think of the number bond as 10 plus 0. How about if we used 9? 9 plus 1 equals 10. How about 8? How many do we need to add to 8 to make 10? That's right. 8 plus 2 equals 10. And now we have 7. Can you start to see a pattern? What do we add to 7 to make 10? Perfect. 7 plus 3 equals 10. And 6 plus 4 equals 10. And one last one. 5 plus another 5 makes 10. Well done. Those are our number bonds. Did you know that making 10 is actually a strategy to help with other maths facts? Let's take a look at another maths fact. 9 plus 6 equals something. But how are we going to use making 10 to help us figure out what is 9 plus 6? Let's begin by building 9 on a tens frame. Here we have 9 red counters in a tens frame. Let's also build 6 on another tens frame. Here we have 6 blue counters. But once again, we want to be using making 10 as our strategy. Which one of these could we make 10? Let's think about those 9 red counters at the top. Do you remember your number bonds? How many do we need to add to 9 to make 10? We're actually going to be seeing how 9 plus 6 is the same as 10 plus something. So let's make that 9 into a 10. Let's take one of those blue counters and move it up. Now we don't actually have 9, we have 10 counters. So 9 plus 6 is the same as, take a look at those tens frames, 10 plus 5. Well done. Instead of thinking 9 plus 6, we're now thinking that's exactly the same as 10 plus 5. And I don't know about you, but I'd rather add 10 plus 5 than I would think about 9 plus 6. So it's a fantastic strategy. Okay, I'm going to give you another question, and I want you to pause and have a go. You're going to try the making 10 strategy. Here's your question. 9 plus 3 equals something. And I'm even going to give you the 10 frame with 9 and another 10 frame with 3. Pause here and have a go. How can you use the making 10 strategy to figure out the answer to 9 plus 3? Okay, let's take a look together. Remember, we want to find out what the answer is to 9 plus 3, but we want to use a making 10 strategy. So we want to think about the question, 9 plus 3 is the same as 10 plus something. Did you think about moving one of those blue counters up to the top so that it makes 10, and then taking a look at how many are left over? Oh, I hope so. So here we can see 9 red counters plus 3 blue counters is actually the same. If we move one of the blue ones up, we now have 10 plus 2. Well done. And what is 10 plus 2? That's 12. So we know now 9 plus 3 equals 12. And yet we used making 10 as our strategy. I don't know about you, but I would much rather add 10 plus 2 than 9 plus 3. So did you know that making 10 is a strategy to help with even other maths facts? The last two examples we were using the number 9 and making it into 10. But there's no number 9 here. We've got 8 plus 6 equals something. Well, first let's build the two. Here we have 8 red counters, and below on the 10 frame we have 6 blue counters. Can you think about what could we do to make 10? How could we change 8 plus 6 to be the same as 10 plus something, to make that fact just a little bit easier? Well, let's have a look. We can move one blue counter up, but we still don't have 10. That's right. We need to move another blue counter up. So actually, we've thought about our number bond. 8 plus 2 equals 10. We moved 2 blue counters up. So now we have 10 plus, you got it, we've got 10 plus 4. Can you see how 8 plus 6 is the same as 10 plus 4? This is again called making 10. And now we can answer our question. 8 plus 6 equals 14. Fantastic. Okay, let's keep going. I think this is kind of fun. Add by making 10. And here's our question. 4 plus 9 equals something. Let's build our 4. We've got 4 red counters. And below it, we're going to build 9. 9 blue counters. And remember, we want to be using making 10. So let's think about this. 4 plus 9 is the same as 10 plus something. What could we do? Remember, we can move those counters. Okay, let's try it this way. We can move 1 up. We've got 5 now. Let's keep going. We need another one. And there's 3 blue ones, 4, 5, and 6. Yay! We've got our 10 frame filled at the top. And actually, we can think about our number bond. 4 plus 6 equals 10. So can you see what I see? 4 plus 9 is the same as 10 plus 3. Exactly. And 10 plus 3 is 13. So we know that 4 plus 9 is the same as 13. Great job. All right, let's keep going. We'll try add by making 10 again. And our question this time is 4 plus 9 equals something. But wait a minute, didn't we just do this question? You're right, we did. But I want to show you a different strategy for making 10 with this same question. So we'll begin by building 4 on a 10 frame, 4 red counters. And we'll build 9 below with our blue counters. 4 plus 9 equals something. Do you remember what we did last time? Well, each of the times. We brought those counters up. We used our number bond 4 plus 6 to make 10. But what if we thought about it this way? Exactly. We could bring 1 red counter down and make our 9 into 10. Let's think about this. 4 plus 9 is actually the same as 9 plus 4. It doesn't matter what order we add those two numbers in. So actually, instead of making our 4 into 10, we're now making our 9 into 10. We can think about it this way. Here's what we did. 9 plus 4 is the same as 10 plus 3. Exactly. Can you see how the bottom 10 frame is full and we have 3 left up top? So now we can actually see again how 4 plus 9 is the same as 13. Interesting. Let's compare. We just went through one question, but showing two completely different methods. And I want to take a look at both of those methods and see what's the same and what's different. Here was the question. 4 plus 9, well, equals something, but we found out that 4 plus 9 is 13. We were looking at how can we make 4 plus 9 the same as 10 plus something? Because remember, we were using the make 10 strategy. We actually looked at the number 4. And using our number bonds and the counters, we made 4 into 10 by adding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. We also know that 4 plus 6 is 10. That's one of those number bonds. So looking at this, we made our 4 into 10. And what happened was we could easily see that 4 plus 9 is the same as 10 plus 3. We then tried it a different way. Remember this? Same question, same 10 frames, same number of counters. But this time we looked at the number 9, the blue counters. And what we did was, thinking about our number bonds to 10, we added 1 red counter to make 10. We then could see that 4 plus 9 is the same as 10 plus 3. In both cases, we showed exactly that. 4 plus 9 is the same as 10 plus 3. But what's the same? What's different? Well, I just mentioned the question is the same. The number of red counters is the same. The number of blue counters is the same. We even used the same strategy. But what's different? In the first one, we looked at the number 4, thought about our number bonds, added 6 blue counters to make 10. In the second one, we looked at the number 9, thought about our number bonds, and made that into 10 by adding 1. Which one do you prefer? Which one would you use? Personally, When I'm doing the Make 10 strategy, I like to use the quickest one. Which one was the quickest? The first one or the second one? Exactly, the second one. We only had to move one counter. Think about that when we keep going. Which number will you use to make 10? Okay, wow, 5 questions. And I can see that all of them are talking about making 10. I'd like for you to pause here and have a go at these questions on your own. And then we'll come back and we'll compare answers. Okay, are you ready? I want you to think about what method did you use? Which number did you choose to make 10? The first question says 9 plus 5 is the same as 10 plus 4. The second one, 8 plus 5, is the same as 10 plus 3. Third question, 8 plus 7 is the same as 5 plus 10. And the fourth question, 4 plus 8 is the same as 10 plus 2. And the last one, 2 plus 9 is the same as 1 plus 10. I wonder what method you used. Making 10 using number bonds. Only this time, we're not going to use 10 frames. We're going to think about the question like this. 9 plus 7. Now, using our number bonds, we're going to think, how many do I need to add to 9 to make 10? How many do I need to add to 7 to make 10? Which number would be quickest to make 10? Are you thinking 9? Wonderful. So let's take the number 7 and we'll think about it in a part-whole model. We already talked about we'd like to make 9 into 10. And how many do we need? Your number bonds to 10. 9 plus 1 equals 10. So we're going to partition the number 7 into 1 and 6. Exactly. We're taking the number 7, partitioning it into 1 and 6. Why? So that we can think about that number bond to 10. 9 plus 1. 9 plus 1 equals 10. But we're not finished yet. The question was 9 plus 7. We partitioned it into 1 and 6. We used the 1 to make 10, but we still have 6 left over. So we can start to think about 10 plus 6 equals 16, which means 9 plus 7 also equals 16. Okay, it's going to be time for you to have a go. And you're going to try the method we just did. You're going to be making 10 using number bonds. But remember, you're going to be thinking about how can I use a part-whole model. Here's your question. 9 plus 8. Think about what number will I make 10 with, and what will I partition the other number into? Pause here, have a go, draw it out, and then we'll come back and see if we chose the same numbers. Okay, so once again, what number will we choose to make 10? I chose the number 9. I chose the number 9 because it's closest to 10. So if I chose the number 9 for my 9 plus 8, I need to partition 8 into two numbers, and one of them has to help me make my number bond to 10 with the number 9. So what can I partition it into? 8 can be partitioned into, good, 1 for my 9 and 7 more. Here we can see now I can make 9 plus 1 equal 10. But I still have 7 left over. So I have to do one more calculation, and that is 10 plus 7 equals 17. Is that how you did it? 9 plus 8 is the same as 10 plus 7. And our answer, 17. Oh, good. It's time for you to practice another one. You know what that symbol means. I give you the question, which is about making 10 using number bonds. And my question is 5 plus 8. But before I pause, I want you to think about which number will you make 10 with and which number will you partition to help with the number bonds. Please draw it out using a part-whole model and then come back and we'll compare answers. Okay, let's take a look. What did you decide to do? I decided I would make my 8 into 10 because it's closest to 10, which means I need to think about 5 plus 8, but the 8 is the number that I'm making 10 with. And that means that I'm partitioning my 5. When I partition it, I need to make sure that one of the parts helps me make my number bond to 10 using 8. So what would I partition 5 into? I need to make 8 into 10, so one of my parts needs to be 2, exactly. And if one of my parts is 2, the other part must be 3. Perfect. So now let's take a look. We can now make 8 and 2 equal 10. But we're not finished yet. Remember, we still have those 3, the other part. We have to add the 3 to our number bond of 10. 10 plus 3 equals 13. Is that how you did it? 5 plus 8 is the same as 10 plus 3? I hope so. So now we're at the end of this lesson. You need to pause here and have a go at the worksheet.